Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Community Connect. I'm Fatima Aslam. Today's guest is someone who turned her passion for health into a career for guiding others. Hafsa Farooqi is a nutritionist who believes in creating lasting change through healthy habits. I'm very excited to welcome her here to the studio and learn from the wisdom that she's gained in her journey. Assalamu alaikum Hafsa.
Walaikum assalam Fatima. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
आपका सबसे पहले हेल्थ में इंटरेस्ट कैसे बना और उससे पहले आप अपनी लाइफ में क्या कर रही थी?
Health में interest, I think, थोड़ा innate ही था. It was not something that was created later. We were kind of brought up like this because my mom is a very healthy eater. I think बचपन से हम उनको देखते आ रहे हैं. She takes care of herself, her skin, her hair. So she still is. अभी तक healthy recipes. So I think subconsciously it was in my mind, but I never pushed it out like that until, later on. But yeah, I think health में interest तो I think शुरू से था. We were probably brought up like that. So yeah, this is how it's been.
So what did you do before starting your journey in health and nutrition? What were you doing before that?
So by qualification and profession, I'm a double master's in marketing and I'm a trained marketer and मैंने काम सारा उसी में किया हुआ है. But when I came here, I did another master's degree and then I got married just right before I graduated. And when I got married, I wanted to stay home with my kids. I wanted my kids to have that time with their mother. So I kind of took a step back at that time. I stopped working. I took a break. Then I ventured a little into my husband's just to, kind of get busy. But it wasn't very fulfilling. But I didn't want to do a 9 to 5 because I wanted to be there for my kids.
Yeah.
So then, it so happened that I kind of gained weight in the way, and which was never an issue for me. So just to kind of, fix my health, and I'm the kind of person कि मैं थोड़ा सा उसके अंदर चली जाती हूँ. So I wanted to know, even though, a lot of people today, and myself included, back when I didn't have the knowledge, we think we know what is healthy, what is not healthy, and we can do this. But when I actually studied for it and I got my certifications, that's where I realized there's so much more to it. So, I was like, okay, let's just, when I lost the weight that I did have to, a lot of friends and family started asking. So that's where it kind of started helping, a friend, a family member. And then, but I was like, if I want to take it up professionally, I need to upgrade my certifications. And then that's how it really started and picked up.
Yeah. So, I mean, before we start going further into your journey, वो क्या moment था जब आपको लगा कि, you can take this forward as not just a passion, but a proper career?
Honestly, for me, it's not a career still. It's still a passion.
Okay.
If I was to say what my career was, I still enjoy marketing, and this passion actually kind of incorporates that too. I manage my own page. I make my own, visuals. I create my own artwork. So all of that is kind of combined into this. But my passion for health kind of is what pushed me into getting into what I'm doing today. Again, like I said, it's not a career for me. I obviously don't do this for money. It's not my bread and butter, but this is something that I put myself to first keep busy, but then it became my passion. And this is what I kind of try to push myself to do and not, stay unbusy when my kids are in school. So this is something that has become like a second nature to me.
Yeah.
So again, it's not a career for me. There's more of my passion, which I converted into a career. And, because I like helping people. I feel like every day I'm learning something too with this work. I feel like it's a never-ending field. Yeah. Like the studies in this it never amazes me that you will never stop learning. There is one research or one study or one thing or the other. So it's something that excites me.
Yeah. So what's something that you wish, when you look back at your journey, what's something that you wish you knew in the beginning that you know now? And this can be about health, nutrition or anything else.
I think persistence, patience, and a lot of consistency.
Okay.
And also realistic expectations. I feel like the clients who come to me, even myself in the beginning, it didn't take you one day, 1 month, or 1 week to get to where you are. It took you a couple of months or a year or a couple of years. So expecting somebody ke they're going to give me a crash diet or it's going to be a quick fix or an overnight thing, that's one thing I feel like, because see, I wasn't even educated back then in nutrition the way I am today. So, people thought that way, people looked for quick fixes, etc. So I just feel like people should have realistic expectations, something sustainable. Quick fixes will not give you a lasting result. So that is one thing that I've learned, and I try and tell a lot of people, because every client who comes wants to lose weight in एक हफ्ते में करा दें आप, एक महीना मेरे पास शादी में है, ये है. So it's not a quick fix, and definitely what I do understand that this is a lifestyle.
Right.
It's not something that you can just do and then go back to doing what you were doing. So that is one. And I feel like another thing that really matters is, you may have lost weight in the past, but you were a different age. Your hormones were completely different. At this point in time, you're a completely different person. A lot of people come after having kids. Right. Your body's changed.
Right.
What may have worked for you before may not work again. So people should understand this understanding, because even I struggled with that, right? So once I had kids, I never had a weight issue before. Once I had kids, I was like, okay, it quickly went away. But then, hormonal changes, when you hit 30, 35, 40. So women generally, I think, struggle with this more because our hormones are on a roll all the time, as compared to males, unless they develop a health condition. So I think that is also one thing people need to understand, that it is not a linear graph always. Right. So it's a lifestyle change, and what worked for you before may not work again. So it's understanding that your body is in a different stage, you're in a different stage, and you need to change your diet according to that. आपने जो टीनेजर्स में खाया और बिल्कुल नहीं चढ़ा, वैसे आप दोबारा नहीं खा सकते, राइट? सो अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग योर बॉडी इन डिफरेंट स्टेजेस ऑफ लाइफ इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
और इस जर्नी में, जैसे आप कह रही हैं कि इट्स अ लाइफस्टाइल चेंज, इस जर्नी में व्हाट रोल डू यू थिंक अ गुड न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट कैन प्ले?
देखिए, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ एंड अवेयरनेस एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन. ठीक है कि कितने फूड ग्रुप्स हैं, क्या प्लेट में होना चाहिए, बैलेंस किस तरह होना चाहिए, क्या खाना चाहिए, क्या कितना खाना चाहिए, दैट अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट. एंड ऐसा नहीं है कि आई एम डिमोनाइजिंग कार्ब्स या प्रोटीन अच्छा है तो फैट बुरा है तो ये नो, एवरीथिंग इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, बट अकॉर्डिंग टू योर बॉडी व्हाट इज द रेशियो इन विच यू शुड ईट. So your body should not be deprived. Okay, I'm doing a keto diet. बड़ा फैट चला था एक ज़माने में, right? अब intermittent fasting के ऊपर आ गया है, ठीक है? See, these are things, yes, again, intermittent fasting is a completely different topic, but those are little fixes that people are trying to do. Lekin if you want to take it forward in a sustainable way, you have to completely understand what nutrition is, what are macros, आपकी बॉडी को क्या. ठीक है, किसी और ने वो डाइट की, उनको ये रिजल्ट आया, अब मुझे भी वही करनी है. नो, यू कांट वर्क लाइक दैट. देयर बॉडी इज डिफरेंट, देयर केमिकल जेनेटिक मेकअप इज डिफरेंट, देयर बॉडीज hormones are different, they respond differently. So understanding that, a lot of times I have couples who come to me, husband and wife. The biggest struggle that I have is the husband is going to lose faster, and there's a scientific reason, biological reason. It's not our fault, it's how Allah ने हमारी bodies जिस तरह से बनाई है, right? So a male probably only has one active hormone, which is testosterone, which is actually a fat burning hormone. Females have more hormones apart from insulin, जो होता है हमारा progesterone and estrogen, right? And estrogen is actually a fat accumulating hormone. So when a couple comes to me and they start together, most of the time I get it, oh मेरे मियाँ ने तो 20 pounds lose कर लिए, मेरे सिर्फ 10 हुए, उनके 15 गिरे, मेरे 10 गिरे. So you have to understand, this is how Allah made you. This is how biological, this is difference between your body and his body. So understanding that even is like, you could be eating the exact same things, but can be getting completely different results. I have a set of twins who are exactly the same, completely different results. Again, they're two different individuals, right? So understanding how your body responds to a food source and how their body responds, that's the main basic understanding.
बिल्कुल. और आजकल आप देख रही हैं कि हमारी सोसाइटी में एक नंबर से बड़ा ऑब्सेशन है, राइट? द नंबर ऑन द स्केल. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, मतलब व्हाट्स द राइट वे टू मेजर कि आप हेल्थी हैं, एज अपोज टू जस्ट कि मेरा 2 pounds कम हो गया, 3 pounds कम हो गया.
देखिए, I do not promote a size zero body, and I understand that a lot of people come to me for weight loss. Having said that, for some people, weight loss may be a start to a healthy journey, right? I believe in getting healthy. Healthy meaning being comfortable in your body, being comfortable in what you're wearing and looking comfortable in how you are. I do not promote size 0 at all.
Right.
So what I generally tell people is, when you feel you're comfortable, don't look at a number on the scale. The number can say a lot of things, because sometimes आपके hormones different होते हैं. If you have possibly, had a lot of salty food in the restaurant, last night, or a couple of days you've been eating out, or you're on vacation. So the number on the scale is not a reflection of who you are. How are you feeling from inside? So one is that there are many measures of, like measuring how,
Right.
where you need to go. But BMI is just a very basic one. But again, it's not very accurate, right? There's body composition, which is more accurate than probably BMI.
Right.
But again, these are just numbers and theory. I always tell people, listen to your body, listen to your gut. Yeah, the number on the scale might not change, but you might lose inches and you might start looking better in pictures, right? Or in your clothes. So look at that, and that's one thing I struggle with a lot of clients, because when they start working out, you have to understand that your fat converts into muscle, which is the same exact weight, but takes less space.
Right.
So which means that आपकी body change हो रही है, body composition change हो रहा है, fat is converting into muscle, the number on the scale might not change.
Right.
So the number is not anything. It is not going to identify you. What should identify you? If you're healthy, if you're strong, and you're not feeling weak, right? लोगों को होता है बस हम weight loss कर लें, चाहे उसमें weakness आ जाए, चाहे कुछ हो जाए, बस मुझे size 0 कर दें, मुझे model बना दें.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah, but that should not be the goal. I think especially women, when you go 25, 30, 35 plus, your collagen, your muscle mass, your bone density starts declining.
Yeah.
And that is where you need to figure out कि आपने अपनी diet में क्या चीज़ें रखनी है कि आप इन चीज़ों को preserve करें. नहीं तो वही हाल होना है जो, and I'm not demeaning anybody, but like हमारी नानियाँ, दादियाँ, अम्मियाँ, घुटनों में दर्द, इधर दर्द, या बैठ नहीं पा रही हैं, और you don't want to be like that. This is the work that I'm doing. That is what I'm trying to promote. Healthy over skinny.
Right.
That is what, because मेरे page का नाम भी healthy half है. It's not skinny at all. Yes, having said that, losing a few pounds may be something where somebody starts their health journey. So which is great. There's nothing wrong in losing weight, but please don't strive to be skinny. Strive to be healthy.
Yeah. Why do you feel like there's such a lack of right information, like especially in South Asian women? Where are we losing the plot?
So, एक तो over information. You open social media, एक बंदा ये diet बता रहा है, वो हालांकि qualification nil, right? Or maybe an influencer, or maybe somebody who tried a diet. मैंने ये किया, मैंने ये supplement लिया, ये खाया, वो किया, मुझे ये. Again, what worked for them may not work for you. उनका fluke लग गया, आपका शायद ना लगे. So understanding basic awareness, basic knowledge on nutrition, education on nutrition is very important. And when somebody is working with me, most of my clients agree that now they have so much knowledge that they didn't before. I'm not a nutritionist. मैं आपको plan दिया, जाए follow करें. No, I don't do that. I educate you while, and they don't even know that I'm educating them, because every weekly call जो हमारी होती है या follow-ups होते हैं, उसमें I'm explaining to them what happened in the past week. How is their result different from this, or what happened, or how their body is working, or what these foods did to them. So again, education is very important, because each person is unique. Each body is unique. So how your body responds to certain things, that's very important. Understanding, education is very important. Don't just go on, because I get it so many times. और अब तो नया start हो गया है. Chat GPT ने ये बताया. I'm like, are you kidding me? कल हमारे doctors जो वो Chat GPT कर रहे होंगे. So I mean, technology is great. I'm not against it, but please don't exploit it. Use it to your advantage जहाँ पे उसकी ज़रूरत है. But I have so many clients who Chat GPT and send me stuff. Is this correct? ऐसे होता है, कहीं से कुछ भेज दिया, कोई रील उठा के भेज दी. So I think there's over information, and people don't know how to process it. Sometimes I get overwhelmed, क्योंकि जब reels जिस तरह scroll हो रही होती हैं, या TikTok एक नया आ गया है, like even though I'm not demeaning them, these are good mediums and sources and medias to kind of educate yourself, but please know where to put a stop. Right? And if you feel that there's too much information and you're getting confused, seek professional help. Good. Don't self-medicate. Google करके अपने symptoms please ना अपने आप को medicate करें.
You're so right. That's something that so many people do today. Yeah. तो हफ्ता हम अभी छोटी सी break लेंगे, फिर हम वापस आते हैं.
Okay.
Let's take a break.
Tempura frozen food. Quick, easy and delicious. फ्रीजर से निकाला, कढ़ाई में डाला और मिनटों में तैयार. Super fast, super tempting. Tempura frozen food. The taste of perfection.
A for app, B for best, C for confidence से D for download करो इसे अपने फोन पे. Time is precious, order food delicious. सारा पाकिस्तान बोले food पापा. Rum pum pum, food papa pum. Rum pum pum, food papa pum.
Barbecue गोला कबाब बिहारी बोटी ETC.
Seafood, ice cream, cake or beverages.
ग्रोसरी में सब मसाले चटनी केचप सारी डालें. सब्जियां फ्रूट.
कैसा गोश्त भी बगवाले दा.
बेगम ने पकड़ा दी लिस्ट, कोई ना बहाना है. ट्रैफिक के झंझट में मुझे नहीं जाना है. Rum pum pum, food papa pum. Rum pum pum, food papa pum.
The law offices of Umar Khwaja is a Houston-based personal injury law firm. Founded in 2018 by attorney Umar Khwaja, the firm represents clients injured in car accidents, truck collisions, workplace incidents, and more, offering every client personal attention, honest guidance, and relentless advocacy. Whether you're facing medical bills, lost income, or insurance disputes, the law offices of Umar Khwaja is here to protect your rights. With a proven track record and a commitment to results, they stand by their promise. If you've been injured, contact the law offices of Umar Khwaja. Let a trusted team fight for the recovery you deserve.
Anytime you've been injured in an auto accident or a workplace accident, a slip and fall, and it's not your fault, call the law office of Umar Khwaja. We're here to help you. 1-833-GET-OMAR, www.attorneyomar.com.
When a loved one suffers a stroke or neurological disorder, finding specialized care in Pakistan can be overwhelming. Too many families struggle to access the treatment they need. Helping Hand USA is expanding access to care. The Karachi Institute of Neurological Diseases and Rehabilitation Kind R is a state-of-the-art hospital, supported by 130-plus satellite clinics. The first phase is nearly complete and will launch in the second half 2025. As excitement builds, it is anticipated to set new standards for neurological care in Pakistan. Give zakat and sadaqah through Helping Hand USA today and join this historic endeavor to redefine healthcare for the future in Pakistan.
Welcome back to the show. Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
तो हफ्सा ब्रेक पे जाने से पहले आपसे बात हो रही थी हेल्थ एंड न्यूट्रिशन के ऊपर ही. तो आप बताएं कि आई एम श्योर आपके पास क्लाइंट्स ऐसे आते हैं हु आर गोइंग थ्रू सम हेल्थ इश्यूज could be high blood sugar, could be obesity, could be PCOS. What do you tell them, and how can food heal people like these?
I think foods have so much healing power. And I don't mean to demean any medication or doctor, but I feel like, and I work with a lot of doctors, by the way, so some of them actually are very holistic and they understand this. Right. And instead, and I don't blame doctors, because doctors की जो 10 साल की पढ़ाई भी है, उसमें they are taught ये disease की ये दवा है, ये disease की nutrition के hardly couple of hours उनको मिलते हैं. So it's not their fault either. Right. But there are certain doctors who will give you a medication on छोटी सी छींक पर भी, right? And then their doctors were like, okay, let's try this, before trying the medicinal approach, let's try healing you with nutrition, like get your diet right, because unfortunately it's not even the doctor's fault, but जो market में available चीज़ें हैं, या आजकल जो processed foods का एक नया एक चल गया trend, from anything from the market to आप बाज़ारों से लेकर खा रहे हैं packaged चीज़ें, a lot of those things are not good for you. They are they are actually the main culprit. They are causing issues in your body because 80% of our diet is that, which is actually should be the opposite. 20% should be okay once. I mean, नहीं कह रही कि once in a while you can enjoy a couple of things, but basic diet should be the caveman diet, which is घर का खाना, right? फल हैं उसमें, fruits हैं, आपके vegetables हैं, there's a lot of other things जो आपको खानी चाहिए, protein है, जो लोग नहीं खाते. Right? अगर प्रोटीन खा भी रहे हैं, आप बाहर से खा रहे हैं, we don't know कि you cannot control ingredients outside in a restaurant. Right. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go. Of course you should go, but 80%, 90% of the time you should be eating clean home food. Right? So those are things that actually really matter. So जब client आता है किसी के, and ज़्यादातर clients जो weight loss के लिए भी आते हैं, they have underlying issues. Right. या blood sugars high होंगी, या किसी का blood pressure high है, या cholesterol high है, या फिर PCOS हुआ हुआ है किसी को, या and a lot of these things are very, interlinked to one basic thing, your insulin. Your body's biggest weight, लोग समझते हैं insulin is just diabetes. No, right. Insulin is your body's biggest hormone that controls your weight. Once you learn how to control your insulin, you can control so many things in your body. You need to, अभी आजकल एक trend और चला हुआ है, CGM लगा के लोग, I'm going to test this, I'm going to test this food, which is great. It's good information, but hey, it's very pertaining to that individual. It's a great thing. आप भी कर सकते हैं, मैंने भी किया, right? I put it on for a week or 2 weeks and I wanted to see what foods are causing insulin sensitivity in me. Now, what you want to be is insulin sensitive, right? You don't want to become insulin resistant. जब आप इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंट हो जाते हैं उसका मतलब ये कि आपकी बॉडी में ब्लड शुगर्स इतने हाई हो गए हैं, आपकी सेल्स उसको ले नहीं रही हैं, आपके मसल्स उसको ले नहीं रही हैं, तो आपके ब्लड के अंदर जो है वो शुगर्स हाई हो गए हैं, राइट? एंड योर बॉडी इंसुलिन इज नॉट इनफ. ठीक है? सो बेसिकली आपको इंसुलिन सेंसिटिव होना है कि आपने थोड़ा सा भी खाया तो आपकी बॉडी उसको इंसुलिन को सेल्स आपकी ले सकें, स्टोर कर सकें. सो व्हेन यू आर इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंट, these PCOS, thyroid, a lot of these things are they are not diseases in themselves. Sometimes they are just a symptom. Your body is trying to tell you something कि मुझे problem हो रही है. So somebody who never had thyroid, somebody who has no history of genetic thyroid, right? Parents एकदम से आपको कैसे हो गया? Your body is giving you a sign, right? That something you're doing is not, and that's where the full blood work panel needs to come in. Okay. And when I actually take a client on, I always ask for their recent blood work because a lot is communicated through that blood work. And because I work with a lot of doctors and a lot of diabetic patients, तो उनका तो हर 3 महीने पे होता है blood work, right? Yeah. But अगर अब किसी का नहीं भी होता है, I always say work with me for 3 months. And then get your blood sugars checked or your blood work checked again. Your numbers are going to be my work reflects those numbers. So your foods are very catered and tailor-made, and your meal plan is tailor-made to your condition. Somebody who has PCOS, or somebody who has thyroid, or somebody who has high blood pressure. So these are all symptoms. Again, ये in itself बीमारियाँ नहीं हैं. अगर आप old school देखें शायद लोग इसको बीमारियाँ समझते हैं. But अभी new age research आई है, especially I don't know if I should name him or not, but I love a few doctors and, I follow them on Instagram too. And one of them, actually, I attended one of his seminars too, Dr. Benjamin Bickman. Okay. And he's a research doctor, right? He's not a doctor कि वो दवाएं देते हैं आपको. He's a research. So his research, recent ones are saying that these are all symptoms of one big thing that we are creating in our body. We're not controlling our insulin. Once your biggest hormone, that's insulin, is controlled, a lot can be controlled. So foods that control your blood sugars are way better than foods that actually spike your blood sugar, right? और इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप carbs ना खाएं, आप मीठा ना खाएं. No, उसका तरीका ये है कि you pair it with something. For example, आपको अगर केक खाना है, आप उसको फ्रूट्स या बेरीज के साथ लें या योगर्ट ले लें 1 कप. सो यू पेयर योर even your fruits भी कहते हैं नेकेड नहीं खाने चाहिए, राइट? डोंट ईट अ फ्रूट नेकेड. दैट्स व्हाट आई टीच माय क्लाइंट्स, राइट? सो आप फ्रूट खा रहे हैं, उसमें नेचुरल शुगर है, ठीक है, वो वाइट शुगर नहीं है, रिफाइंड नहीं है, नेचुरल शुगर है. तो उसको आप उसका स्पाइक कैसे कम करेंगे? या तो आप उसको फैट या आप प्रोटीन सोर्स के साथ पेयर करें. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्ट्रिंग चीज़ ले लें, या आप नट्स ले लें थोड़े से उसके साथ, 4-5 आमंड्स या वॉलनट्स ले लें, या आप 1 कप योगर्ट के अंदर बेरीज डाल के खा लें. सो आपका ब्लड शुगर स्पाइक नहीं होगा. सो लर्निंग ऑल दीज लिटिल थिंग्स कि किस तरह से मैं क्या खा सकती हूँ कि मेरा ब्लड शुगर कंट्रोल रहे. In the long term, this is what is health for you.
Yeah.
If you don't work on your health today, the next 5 years down the road, it's going to go downhill.
Yeah.
Today, if you work and fix what your issues are, आपके next 5 साल सही होंगे. So what you do today for your health shows in the next 5 years.
Yeah. Thank you, Hafsa. This is such valuable information. And I want to pick your brain a little more about this.
Absolutely.
So अगर आपके पास कोई इंसान आता है, या a woman comes to you and she has symptoms of high blood sugar, for example, what are like some key lifestyle changes जो वो adopt कर सकते हैं? And second part to that is कि बड़ी misinformation है relating to healthy foods. जैसे आपने कहा कि कई जैसे आप आज अगर grocery store में जाएं, you find a lot of packaged food that has healthy, organic,
Right.
Even some protein bars, for example.
Yeah.
तो ऐसे कौन से foods can you think about that people think are healthy that perhaps as a nutritionist you would not recommend?
So देखिए, I don't want to demonize any
Yeah,
fruits,
of course.
but having said that, so आपका first part of the question जिसको डायबिटीज़ है या हाई शुगर्स हो रही हैं या अगर कोई इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस की तरफ जा रहा है तो वो कैसे कंट्रोल करें? First and foremost, protein is your best friend. I know you see it on the internet. It's not false. It's absolutely true. Protein is your best friend. But what kind of protein also? Eggs are great. Okay. They are a complete protein. And I feel like people who don't eat meat or eggs, then you should gravitate towards yogurts or, tofu, या different non वेजिटेरियन जो प्रोटीन होता है, ठीक है, नॉन मीट प्रोटीन जो होता है, सो वो आपके लिए बहुत अच्छा होता है. प्लस जिन लोगों के शुगर्स हाई रहते हैं उनको फाइबर बहुत अपनी डाइट में इंक्लूड करना चाहिए, बिकॉज फाइबर इज़ योर सेफ्टी नेट, राइट? इमेजिन इफ़ यू क्लाइम और यू जंप फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट फ्लोर टू द ग्राउंड फ्लोर, चोट लगेगी ना आपको, टूटेगा कुछ, यू गोना गेट हर्ट. बट इमेजिन इफ देयर इज अ ट्रैम्पोलिन और अ मैट्रेस इन द बॉटम. So fiber वो काम करता है, you'll bounce off it or you might not get hurt completely. So your fiber actually, when you do fiber first, and इसीलिए हम कहते हैं fiber किन चीज़ों में, fiber आपके fruits में है, vegetables में है, there are certain grains जिनमें होता है, right? छोले वगैरह में होता है, लोबिया वगैरह में होता है. So fiber first, then your protein, and then have carbs and other things जो आपको खानी है. Fats are also very important, but which fats? Just try and figure. Again, a balanced diet is the answer to everything. You just need to figure out what is the proportion in which I should eat. That's about it. Second part आपका जो question का है, yes, especially if you go to a store which is healthy. I don't want to name stores, but there are many stores that sell healthy stuff or organic stuff. Yes, an aisle may be green. It may say, oh, it's organic, it's healthy. But when you actually look at the packaging, पीछे आप अगर उसके ingredients पढ़ें, अगर उसमें ingredients ऐसे जो आप pronounce नहीं कर सकते, जो आपने सुने नहीं है पहले, seed oils भी अगर हों, artificial flavors लिखा है, natural flavors लिखा है. देखिए, a lot of countries' laws, food laws, are protecting those companies which are actually just writing artificial flavors or artificial sweeteners or whatever, this and that. हमें नहीं पता, right? There's no detail given. We don't know what it is. Today, alhamdulillah, red 40, yellow 30, ये सारे ban होने लग गए, right? Which is great because these are things which are not good for your body, right? And these are causing issues. आपको पता है जापान में cereals banned है.
अच्छा.
There are so many. There's a new research on it. Look it up. Read up. उसमें cereals वहाँ पे ban हो गए. So I feel like the worst foods that you can put in your body, cereals and orange juice. जो ये बड़ा fad था कि cereals and orange juice is basically breakfast. They're not breakfast foods.
Yeah.
They actually spike your sugar. So you shouldn't start your day with something that's sweet. Right? You should start your day with something more nutritious, जिसमें protein ज़्यादा हो, जिसमें थोड़े fats हों जो आपकी body के लिए अच्छे हों. Some fats are actually helping burn fat in your body, right? So eggs are great to start. Have a savory breakfast, right? Another very bad thing, I'm sorry to say, is flavored yogurts. ठीक है? So a lot of flavored yogurts have एक तो बहुत चीनी होती है उनमें, प्लस उनमें जो फ्रूट्स डाले गए होते हैं, अगर तो फ्रूट हैं, नहीं होते तो वो अलग बात है, लेकिन कुछ में फ्रूट्स भी होते हैं. अगर वो बिट्स ऑफ फ्रूट्स हैं, उनको फ्रूट्स ख़राब हो जाते हैं, राइट? हमारे फ्रूट्स अगर आप बाहर छोड़ें, दे विल रॉट, इवेंचुअली वो डिटोरिएट होंगे, एंड दैट्स हाउ नेचर इज़. वो फ्रूट्स नहीं हो रहे क्योंकि उनको प्रिजर्व किया है, फिर उनको चीज़ों में डबोया है, फिर उनको मीठा किया गया है क्योंकि दे लूज देयर फ्लेवर. Another really biggest myth is fat free, low fat. हर चीज़ पे लिखा होगा बड़ा बड़ा, organic. fat free, low fat. Now, when you say fat free, low, I'm not against it, but don't have it all the time, because imagine किसी चीज़ से फैट निकाला गया है, उसका टेस्ट और टेक्सचर चेंज होगा,
बिल्कुल,
राइट? तो उसकी कमी पूरी करने के लिए क्या किया गया है? सॉल्ट्स डाले गए हैं, शुगर डाली गई है, आर्टिफिशियल फ्लेवर्स डाले गए हैं ताकि उसका फ्लेवर और टेक्सचर चेंज ना हो, राइट? सो दोज आर थिंग्स, सी देखें, ये एनीथिंग, एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई टीच माय क्लाइंट्स, anything that is grown from the ground or from the trees, that should be 80% of your diet.
Okay.
Right? Anything that's packaged in or made in a lab or is in a packet, वो सिर्फ 20% आपको खाना चाहिए. It's not bad. ठीक है, आपने कभी कभार ले लिया. I'm not demonizing any foods. मगर these are not foods that you should be eating every day or you should be snacking every day on. Okay. Or these are not foods you start your day with. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that definitely does. And there's a lot of, I pretty much agree with everything that you said, because we're being thrown so much around this health.
Yep.
And it's almost, for someone who's, an average person who hasn't read up on this stuff, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. So Hafsa, one other question that I, really want to ask you is regarding consistency. You can have all the information in the world, but अगर आप उसको implement नहीं कर रहे और regular basis पे नहीं कर रहे, for example, आप एक महीना आपने अपनी diet सही रखी है, आप सब कुछ follow कर रहे हैं, फिर आपका एक vacation plan आता है, you're gone for 2 weeks, and a lot of people are then not able to get back, या वो vacation को समझते हैं कि अब ये completely हम इसमें जो मर्जी कर सकते हैं और फिर जब वापस जाएंगे तो we'll restart it again. So I guess how do you teach consistency, and when you say कि ये एक lifestyle होना चाहिए, तो उसमें lifestyle में तो सारी चीज़ें होती हैं, weddings भी आ रही होती हैं, vacation भी हो रही होती है, so how do you keep yourself in check for the rest of your life, I guess?
So first and foremost, देखें, if you have a goal कि आपने इतना lose करना है या इस तरह आपके आपने अपने blood sugars को इस नंबर पे लाना है, आप वो कर लें पहले, right? उसके बाद yes, if you maintain, and this is the biggest part, see my work doesn't, and a lot of people think कि अब मुझे इनकी ज़रूरत नहीं है, like मेरी ज़रूरत नहीं है, मेरा weight lose हो गया. No, the real work actually starts because maintenance is even more harder.
Yeah.
It actually is actually harder than losing the weight or getting your number. लर्निंग कि मैं अब इसको मैनेज कैसे करूं, इसको मैं बढ़ने ना दूं दोबारा, वो सबसे बड़ी बात होती है. येस, लाइफ विल थ्रो कर्वबॉल्स एट यू, आपकी शादी, एंड अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह देसी लोग वे ब्लेस्ड, हम लोगों के यहाँ इतने इवेंट्स होते हैं, कभी बर्थडेज हो रही हैं, वीकेंड्स पे कोई कॉन्सर्ट आ गया, फिर किसी की शादी हो रही है, एंड यू ट्रैवल. अब तो आजकल ग्लोबल ट्रैवल इतना खुल गया, एंड जिसको देखो हर दूसरा बंदा ट्रैवल कर रहा है, राइट? सो नेविगेटिंग योर सेल्फ थ्रू ट्रैवल इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज देखिए, आई एम नॉट सेइंग डोंट ईट. Please eat, enjoy, but moderation में, right? First and foremost, if you're traveling, carry some healthy snacks. I always do. Plain food is not the best food. It's high and full of sodium, right? Really high in sugars too. Sometimes with desserts या उनकी जो muffins वगैरह होते हैं, they're not good. They're not healthy. Now, I'm not saying don't completely eat it, but जैसे for example मेरे पास लंबी फ्लाइट है, 14-15 घंटे, 18 घंटे की, ठीक है, खाना आया, मैंने प्रोटीन ले लिया उसमें से, then I also pack some healthy snacks with me, right? Or प्लेन में आपको फ्रूट्स भी मिल जाते हैं, योगर्ट भी मिल जाता है, सो यू कैन इवन आस्क फॉर, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, आई स्किप डिजर्ट एंड आई आस्क फॉर फ्रूट. आई ऑलवेज से, इवन मेरे बच्चों को भी मैंने ये आदत डाली हुई है, दे आर वेरी फ्रूट फ्रेंडली. माई किड्स डोंट स्नैक ऑन क्रैप ऑल द टाइम. दे डू समटाइम्स, बट mostly they'll be snacking on vegetables or fruits, right? So those are things you can do. Plus आप travel कर रहे हैं तो एक और चीज़ आप ध्यान में रख सकते हैं, you can research restaurants. What are the things? देखिए, प्रोटीन हर जगह मिलता है, ठीक है. It might not be the same calories if you cook it at home. ठीक है, उसमें तेल ज़्यादा होगा, नमक ज़्यादा, but at least it's still protein. It's better than other things. Now you can also have some carbs, but again, अपना जो खाने का तरीका है वो इसको इस तरह रखें, fiber first, protein second, fats, and then उसके बाद जो आपने carbs खाने, क्योंकि देखें by the time आप इस पे आएंगे आपका हाफ पेट फुल हो जाएगा, प्लस आपको न्यूट्रिशन डेंस मिल गया खाना, उसके बाद चलें आपने अगर carbs ले लिए थोड़े तो ले लिए, which is fine. So keep your measurement like that कि मुझे किस तरह खाना है. And I'm not saying you can't eat a pizza. Of course, have a slice of pizza, but then try and have something healthy with it as well. So this is how I navigate, right? So if I've had like something bad on one day, so my next meal is going to be very organic. या अगर मैंने एक दिन थोड़ा बुरा खा लिया है या कुछ ऐसा खा लिया है जो बहुत हाई इन फैट्स था या बहुत डीप, वैसे आई डोंट ईट डीप फ्राइड, बट अगर किसी ने खाया, सो देन यू वॉक अ लॉट. वेकेशन इज नॉट अबाउट लेइंग डाउन ऑन द बीच. आई डोंट, ठीक है, फॉर मी इट इज़ वॉकिंग, exploring the city. So you get yourself some movement.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. So that is one thing you should stick to. Acha, jab social events, again, and I'm not saying everyone's going to have a linear graph in weight. Your weight is mine too. Holidays आती हैं, कुछ होता है 4-5 पाउंड 8 पाउंड, किसी का ऊपर नीचे, किसी का लीनियर ग्राफ नहीं होता. बट लर्निंग कि चलो मैंने गेन, रियलाइजेशन इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, मैंने रियलाइज किया कि ओके आई डिड गेन अ फ्यू पाउंड्स, नाउ हाउ डू आई ब्रिंग इट बैक? So that's where you need to know what goes and works for your body. And working out is great, but it's only 20%. But what you put in your plate, anybody can work out in the gym for 2 hours. Or even, like 3-4 hours. लोग करते हैं, लोग काफ़ी gym में time गुजार. But for the rest of those 23 hours, what goes in your plate, that's the biggest struggle.
Yeah.
What are you putting in that plate? What is going in your body? So that navigating that, आपको क्या लगता है ये जो एक्टर्स 6 पैक बना के घूम रहे हैं, ये लोग क्या 5-5, 6-6 घंटे करते हैं? नो, these 6 packs are not in 2 hours or 1 month. These are years of hard work.
Yeah.
Right? But when they're shooting or when they're traveling, how are they maintaining it? Through foods.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you need to put priority to your foods, and yes, some healthy movement in some form or way is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely, and this is such great information. And just to kind of wrap it up, अगर अभी आपको कोई सुन रहा है, what is one message that you hope that they learn from this conversation?
Don't focus or get fixated on a weight or a number or how it should look. If you're trying to change yourself, focus on the habits, create habits. Once you create those habits, they become part of your nature. Once your habits are in place, the numbers, your body or whatever you're trying to achieve will follow. So the biggest thing is, देखिए, मोटिवेशन इज़ वन डे. आपको एक दिन जोश चढ़ा एंड यूर लाइक, ओ आई एम गोना डू दिस, आई एम गोना डू दैट, लेकिन वो मोटिवेशन नेक्स्ट डे डाई डाउन हो जाती है. राइट? व्हाट हेल्प्स इज डिसिप्लिन. सो वंस यू क्रिएट दोज हैबिट्स, एंड there's a rule called 2190, which means that it takes about 3 weeks, 21 days to create a habit, right? To get used to a habit, and 90 days to maintain it. यानी अगर आपने किसी चीज़ को 3 हफ्ते फॉलो किया तो आपकी हैबिट बन जाएगी, लेकिन वो हैबिट बन के रहेगी कब तक? जब आपने उसको 3 महीने फॉलो किया. देन इट बिकम्स सेकेंड नेचर, एंड देन यू आर नॉट गोना बी एबल टू ईट एनी अदर वे. इफ you've learned how to eat good in 21 days and you follow it for the next 90, then it will become second nature. So consistency comes through discipline.
Yeah, definitely, and that's really the long-term solution to all this.
Sustainability.
Bilkul. So Hafsa, if somebody wants to reach out to you, and of course, ये तो बड़ा एक sneak peek था to all the knowledge that you can offer them. What's the best way to reach out to you?
I have my social media. I started off with that. I have an Instagram, I have Facebook, and I have a TikTok page. I go by the same handle everywhere. It's called The Healthy Half. अगर आप मेरे Instagram page पर जाएंगे तो वहाँ पर एक link भी है जहाँ पे एक form है मेरा. If you fill that form, I have your information and I contact you. So otherwise आप DM भी कर सकते हैं. I generally respond within 24 hours. And obviously if you're living abroad somewhere, because I have clients all over the world. So if you're living abroad, give me 24 hours to get back to you, because you might message me when it's your daytime, but it might be my night time. So within 24 hours I do respond.
Thank you, Hafsa, for sharing so much information with us.
So welcome.
And to everybody who's watching, I'm sure they'll be reaching out to you to kind of pick your brain like I have today. So, we're looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Hum TV, for providing us with this platform. And thank you to our sponsors for sponsoring this show. See you next time with a new episode and a new guest.